Welcome back, everyone. For today's adventure, I had talked about this in one of the last videos about building the wall for the garage. So the main house is there. This garage is 30 by 50 going this way. It sticks 3 feet past the existing foundation. So what I had initially thought I was going to do, because this is going to be a slab on grade, monolithically poured, so footings and the floor all poured at once. It'll have rebar and all that. That'll be a whole nother video, which will be coming up very shortly. But I need to get this wall in first. I wasn't going to have it. I was going to just pour the slab and have the garage wall go right up. But the way that the landscaping has to come, it would not be a good idea. So I'm going to do it out of block, but it can't just follow the same course. The garage shares the wall with the game room here. So what I did was I put the wall plate down as it would be, except it comes I came the 3 feet past. I had left that initially there thinking I would use that, but I will not be using that. I'll be cutting that off and putting in a new one because it's in the wrong place. And the reason I say it's in the wrong place is it shares the wall, but the garage goes that way. So the outside of the block needs to be for the outside of this portion here. This can stick in, it doesn't make any difference. So if I followed it down just as it does here, you've got a 7.5 inch block, give or take. These are bigger because they're split block, but a normal block is 7.5 inches. You've got a 5.5 inch sill and a 3.5 inch wall. So all this would be on the outside. That would be out here, so that's not good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stagger the block. I'm going to stagger the block so it'll stick in like this, so that the overhanging portion will be inside. And what I'm going to do is from here to here, when I actually frame this, it will be from this level, but I'm going to put, this will be instead of this is a 2x6 now, I will make this a 2x8. So it will be flush on the inside, because then over here where the wall comes up for the actual framing of the garage, it will butt right into it. So I cleared all this off. We had a big storm last night, made a big mess. So I cleaned this off. It's drying right now. So I'm going to get my lines, use my plumb bob, get my lines down, snap my lines. So basically it will follow the line of the garage, of the main house for the garage, but I need to get this outside point where it'll be, and then I need to get the outside of the wall where I want it, and then go in 7.5 inches and snap that line, and that's where you will follow. You'll see when I do it. But with the split block, let me see if I can find one that's not blocked in the sun. With the split block, you can see this side, you can't, this inside is smooth, the outside is not, and they're all different. So if you look at, well, let's go over to they're still all wet from the storm, but if you look down these, you'll see they all stick out at a different rate. So you cannot go by the outside, you have to go by the inside. So that's what I'm going to do right now, is get that set up, and then I'll show you before I start. All right, so you can see, so that's the inside of the block. So that's the inside. The outside is will be roughly where that red line is. Again, it won't be exact because they go every which way but in and out, because they're split, as you can see when you look down them. But that's roughly where it goes, so it'll give me an idea anyway. But it's that line that I need to follow, and then that's basically it. Just plumb that up. I'm going to drill in some pins, and I'm going to drill pins in in here. These are solid. This whole foundation is filled up solid. So I'm going to drill in rebar pins so that it can't move laterally if it gets pushed. So, and it'll actually hold it in as well, because rebar has little knurls on it that holds in place. So it works both ways, but this is mainly for lateral push, which there won't be very much here, but can't hurt. And the difference in block, you'll see this is a full block, but it has two separate ends on it. So all you need to do is use a chisel and just tap that around, and it will snap off. Versus a full block is like that. So that does not have the split in the middle. So that one is not one you would use as a half block. So I'm going to start with a half block in the front, so that my first corner block will be a full one rather than a split. All right, so this will give you an idea of what I'm doing. So I'm notching that corner. I don't want it just to be cut back so it looked like that, and then it would look like that on the inside, but it would actually be open. So I mean, you could pack it by hand, but then it wouldn't look good. So I want it to look like that all the way up, which it'll still have to have a little bit of packing in there, you know, some mortar. I say packing, but there's my inspector again, right, Misty? How's it coming out? Good? What do you think? Is it good? She doesn't leave me. She doesn't leave me alone. So you can see, mark it here, mark it there, cut it, and that makes that corner. And then it starts again with a half block, but it's a half corner, so the corner I actually have to cut, because the corner, this is a corner, so you can see how big the corners are. So the corner does have to get cut, unfortunately. All right, just in time for Misty to come inspect, right, Misty? Coming to see if I did it okay? So those are all pre-cut. Much easier to pre-cut them all, so obviously there's no mortar in them, so they'll be up to level when it comes around. But this is what I was talking about here, so that it's a full block. It looks finished on the edge, but that needed to do that, as I talked about. So there'll be a 2x8 wall. This will be a 2x8 wall. It'll come in and cover the whole thing, so that the garage, because the garage floor will be up here. Actually, it'll be up here, actually. What, Misty? So, time to get mixing. I'm notching the corner, so inside it'll look like a full block. It really should be cut back here, but I don't want to see the open end of a block from inside the garage. Plus it'll be stronger. So you can see I've cut it here already, and this is just a masonry, it's a diamond blade, but it's for masonry. So nice cut. And the wind is with me today, really against me, meaning away from me, which is good. Usually it blows right at you. I'll show after over there how it looks. Time. You want to get it out of there before you pull the bit out, so you get most of it. It doesn't go back in the hole. the idea. So that's how you drill them in. Well, I drilled that one in there too, so I got to do the other ones, but that's how it works. Welcome back, everyone. For today's adventure is making the foundation for the garage. So I've laid it out. There's the far end. It's obviously butting up against the house. So what I'm going to do is I brought and I cleaned it all off. Got everything undercarriage all cleaned out because I haven't done that in a while. So I'm just going to strip off the grass. There's not too much here, but I'm just going to get just about 2 inches of this out so that it's down to virgin ground with no organic matter in it, and I'm going to compact it, and then I'm going to get the laser out, and I'm still trying to decide roughly the floor is going to be about the top of that first block, so it'll be in line with the first one, or I may go up maybe 4 inches, because I've got to have a lip, because the floor has to be lower than the access that goes into the basement, you know, for code. So I'm going to shoot it with a laser to see how much material I need to bring in here to do it, and I've got that good material right there saved for it. That's more than enough, but I saved that specifically for it. And I'm going to go bigger. I'll probably go 5 feet bigger all the way around. So after I get it to grade where I want it, I'm going to compact it. Then I am going to dig it with the Mini, so it will have a footing along the outside edge, and then it will have what's called a grade beam. It will have one down the middle, and it's already got one on the end because that footing is already there, and that will get drilled and pinned so that the floor will be connected, so it won't be able to go up or down or sideways against the existing foundation. So that's what I'm going to do right now, but the reason I haven't decided where exactly to put the floor yet, this is all the walls in the house are 10 foot except the great room, which are 12 feet. So this garage wall will match up with the house wall. It'll be 3 feet sticking past, but it'll be all at the same height. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my height, my 10 foot, I guess it's like 10 foot 1 with a pre-cut wall. I'm going to see what size studs I'm going to need for the garage. They'll probably be 16 foot that I'll have to cut. But I don't want to be off by like an inch, where I could use a 14, and if it's, you know, if the floor was up 1 inch higher, I could use a, you know, or it's 1 inch lower, I have to use a 16 and cut off, you know, 1.5 foot of it where I didn't need to. So I'm going to check that right now and see, but roughly the floor will be roughly with the top of the first course, and I am going to go 8 inch. This floor will be 8 inches. So let's get started on that. All right, well, that's the top of the wall right there. That's the very top, counting the 2 top plates. So it doesn't matter where I put the floor, because it is just about 15 inches from the top, 15 feet from the top of the wall to the top of the first course where I want it to go. So it won't make any difference. Those will be 16 foot footers that I need, and they're going to be 2x6s because of the height. So 16 on center, everything's 16 on center. I don't like 24 on center for anything. But anyway, so that it doesn't really matter where I put the top of the floor. So I'll figure out what makes the most sense, because this does pitch down. So the higher I go here, the more material I need to put in over here, and that's not so bad. I mean, I have enough to do, but I don't want it to be too high off the ground for driving in purposes. You know, for the apron that will have to be there, I don't want to have it be too high and then it drops off. So whereas this is going to be, this area here is going to be graded back anyway. I just roughly graded it there just by eye. So that needs to come down just a little bit anyway, but I'm going to get the laser out and see what's what. Well, my old laser, it's about 8 years old, decided that it wasn't going to work, so we got a new one. This one's better anyway. This one goes up to 1,000 feet. This one can go vertical, and this one's better. So just as well, I guess, but I had just been out, and I got back and I had to go back out again. So this is the corner of the garage, just to give you an idea. So that's about it. That's the bottom, or the top of the footing right there. So that's about how much dirt I've got to put in. So not too bad, maybe 6 inches. So that's not too bad, and it'll taper. This one, let's try this one. It's probably about 8 or 10 inches over here. So I'm going to run strings across. I'm going to scrape this out first with the dozer, get rid of this grass, and then I'm going to start bringing some material. Well, I'm going to compact it first, and then I'm going to start adding what I need to get it across. So I'll get a shot of that. It's windy. All right, so the delay on going to get that new laser put a dent in things, because this is New Year's weekend, and everybody that is always in Myrtle Beach area is really in Myrtle Beach area now, so you could barely drive down that way. So I wasted a couple hours just to do that. So anyway, this is, as I showed, this is where roughly where the end of the garage is going here. So these are my so-called batter boards. I'm not using batter boards yet because this isn't precise, but I just put this one past, so I'll know approximately where I'll be in the neighborhood when I square it up. And the same with that one to the one that's by the barrel over there. So at least that'll get me close, but right now I just want to scrape this down and get it ready so that tomorrow I can start. I'm not going to do it today because, as you can see, it's don't have too much daylight left. But I'm going to get this scraped down, get it ready to go, and have everything ready so tomorrow I can just bang this out. And because I have an inspection coming on Tuesday, and I've got concrete coming on Wednesday, and today is Friday, so I want to get all this done and not have to worry about it. So better get working on it. All right, so that's, you know, it only needs to come back to here, but I pushed that back just to get it out of the way, and because I'm going to make the pad that much bigger, so when I dig it, I'll be sitting on the pad and not half on and half off. And plus, this way, it'll give a, you know, it'll be a taper for when I do the landscaping. I'm going to just clean this edge up a little bit with the skid steer, but I'm not as worried about getting too close over here because this is going to get dug up. This is on the footing line, so the footing will be here and there. Just not against the house because there already is a footing there. But, all right, done with that. Skid steer time. And then I'm going to get the roller out here, compacted. Well, there's some good topsoil that I have to find a place to put it. I don't want to mix it in with the fancy stuff. right, I'm going to end this video here. I'll probably make this, I don't know, one more part at least, maybe two, I don't know. We'll see how I edit it out. But I'm going to put a few bonus things here at the end, and I'm just going to show, because I don't think I showed this already. I finished the electrical, pretty much finished everything in David's garage that needed to go in here. I got, well, all the lights are in, which you'll see, which you will see after, you know, in the bonus section. I put a light outside as well, which I'm going to show in that but I just wanted to give a little look on this, so I finally got it done. I got some shelving from Harbor Freight. David used to work at Harbor Freight. That was like his fun job that he liked to do. And they gave me some shelving, so I thought it would be fitting to put some of the shelving from Harbor Freight in here. And it still has, you know, some markings on it, so I thought that was kind of neat. That scaffolding won't be staying in here. That's going to be used when I work on the house, when I'm building the house, but for now I'm going to leave it in here. And yeah, so I'm happy this lighting lights it up pretty good. Same ones I have in the shop. And I guess that's all I have to say about that. So there'll be a few bonus things here afterwards, and as usual, thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. All right, I'm going to put this in the bonus section because I'm not going to do a whole video on it. I've done a little bit of electrical videos before, and there's plenty of people that do them. But if you remember when I built, this is almost a year ago, and you know how I usually always finish a project before I move on to the next one. Yeah, right. So I bought this scaffold system, which you can double the height of it. I'm going to need this when I build the garage on our house, because it's 15 feet tall inside. This is what is it, 13 feet I guess inside, but the actual wall height is going to be 15 foot, where these are 12. And so that's what I bought it for. But I also did it for this electrical, and I never got around to doing it. I had brought electric in, but I never finished running the plugs around. And the lights have been hanging here for almost a year, so I'm running the BX for that now. So you can see I've got a switch for the lights. I got one switch for an outdoor light, and that's kind of what this video is going to be on. I got this. I got to unbox it, but I got this given to us by a company called Onforu. Hope I'm not mispronouncing it, but that's what it looks like to me. And I will put a link in the description, and there is going to be 10% off with a code, which I don't remember off the top of my head, but I will put it in the description of what it is. So I just wanted to quickly unbox it, and I'm going to mount, I've got a white round metallic box to go outside on the metal. So let's unbox this here. This is LED. It's 100 watt. Hold on a second. Let me put it down. There we go. So we don't need the box, but this will mount like that. And so I picked this one. I like this one. It's got a photocell, so you could do photocell, motion detector, and also you can have it always on, obviously. But this one you can direct, you can loosen it up, which I loosen it with a screwdriver. But you can hang the wings, so you can have this be in the center and have those go out or any which way you want. And it feels, I mean, this is hefty. This is aluminum fins here, dissipate the heat, and this is actually a plastic base here. So I'll get a shot of this when I put it up outside, but I wanted to do an unboxing. They give you wire nuts. Don't ever use the wire nuts they give. And I don't care what brand you get. The wire nuts are never good. And these are stainless steel hardware too, so you don't have to worry about that, and it does come with an instruction manual on how to set it. So dusk to dawn, or like I said, just motion. I think I'm just going to have it on motion. And that's how I have the one in the back. It gives the mounting plate with a gasket. So when you put this up against the side, you've got a gasket for that. So yeah, so I'll get a shot of that one when I get it up. All right, so there it is. So you can adjust the two wing, either light the wing lights, and you can adjust the front one, and you can pitch the angle. And there is the let me get it, let me turn it on. So it's bright. We'll see it. Yeah, you can't really see that in the camera, but it's bright. You can't look at it. So I'll get tonight when it gets dark, I will put it on so you can see it. But it was easy to install, well made it seems, and we'll see how it looks at night. All right, here's a night shot of it. So you can see, hopefully it picks it up good on camera, but it lights up the whole area. That's kind of what I was going for. So when we come home and the ducks are still out, we put them away, or in the winter more so than we don't leave them out, but it gets darker earlier, so I wanted to have a light that worked. So that's why it's not right over the door, but hopefully this picks it up. But it's very bright. It's very bright. I'm happy with that. And I mean, it lights up the whole side of the garage and lights all the way out to the ducks. So that does exactly what I wanted it to do. So there you have it. So there's a 10% discount. I'll put the in the description, and I would recommend this. Any questions, let me know. All right, here's one more thing for the bonus section. I just got this, and well, I'll show you on David's truck, but I just put this back rack on David's replica truck, and the only thing I have to do is the wiring. Of course, I'm getting a call. I will continue this in a second. All right, my cousin Shelly gave me a call, so I hadn't talked to her in a while, so I wanted to take it. So let me show David's. So this one I made for David back in 2017. Welded this up and put his initials, I don't know if you can see it, DJS. I put that up there. He put the light bar on himself, and he put the stacks and all that. Train horn, the compressor and all that is in that box there. So I had, as I've talked about, I bought that F350 to be as close of a replica to his truck as possible. And I was gonna weld up this one myself, but I just don't have time. And so anyway, so there it is. So I just have to wire the light. Everything else is done. It's pretty close enough. A pickup truck without a rack to me is a waste, because you can't even get a 10-foot board without, what do? Have it hang 40 feet off the back, or a ladder. All my trucks have racks. That's probably how anybody could know it's my truck, because they kind of all look the same. The Tacoma has a rack, the 450 has a rack. Well, the Ranger has a cap, which is that's actually the best way to go, because for carrying stuff, because you could put up to 20-foot pipes. But anyway, so this is done. So I just put it on, and this was a no drill. It goes through the stake pockets, and it's made pretty well. The one on the Tacoma I've had since 17, and it's holding up pretty well as well. So I would have liked to have made it, but yeah. So I think it looks good.